Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before, please subscribe along with the thumbs ups. Appreciate the thumbs ups, but most importantly, like I always say, the comments. I love the comments. My favorite part of doing actually a lot of this. All right, well, the New York Knicks went on the road to Cleveland, the beginning of a very brutal 10-game stretch where 8 of those games are going to be on the road. And they're going to play some very, very tough competition. The Warriors, the Bucks, the Heat. But today they played the Cavs. Now the Cavs, they didn't have Jarrett Allen. Nope. And Ricky Rubio, he's gone for the rest of the season. But the Knicks somehow still managed to figure out a way to lose this game. 95-93. And the way they lost it was at the free throw line. That's really the story. That was the story. In fact, let's just go right here. Look. You can see they shot only 52.4% of their free throws. They missed 10 free throws. In fact, RJ was responsible for missing 5 of those 10. That's right. He went 5 of 10. He shot better from the field than he shot on the free throw line. That's right. Unguarded at the free throw line, he shot worse than he shot being guarded. He shot 56.3% overall, 9 of 16. He was actually the leader of this team, of the game, once again, 24 points, even though it did seem like there were periods during the game, especially in that third quarter where, there was a stretch there where they went away from him. And I saw all the other stretches in the first half where they went away from him. And that could also possibly be because there's just too many mouths to feed. With Kemba coming back, today was his first game back in quite a while. And remember, this is the second game of a back-to-back. I wasn't able to do the post-game yesterday for the Clippers game, which was a nice win, a needed win before they went on the road. But in that game, RJ played the entire second half. He played 43 minutes, and Randall played 40 minutes. And then they traveled to Cleveland to play the next night. And somehow Cam did not get into the game. Nope. Cam didn't see that DNP. Remember he said, I doubt I'll be DNP'd. Well, he wasn't on Sunday. He got 5 minutes, his first game, but today he was DNP'd along with Deuce and Jericho Sims. But what's interesting is Immanuel Quickley, even though he only hit one bucket, one three-pointer, he played the entire fourth quarter because of his defense, his penetration, his ball handling. He did commit only one turnover. Look at that. I love that. Look at that. Six assists to 1 turnover. That's a nice ratio. Very nice ratio. Whereby when you check out Kemba had 1 assist, but 2 turnovers. That's not the kind of ratio you want. Kemba was only scored 8 points. He was a minus 11, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. He did hit 4 or 5 of his 2-point shots, for those 8 points. But he got burned several times on the defensive end. He ended up guarding Love one possession. That's basically a wide-open 3-point attempt for Kevin Love. But this game was lost at the free throw line, and there was a stretch in the third quarter where the game just totally got out of hand. And we'll go to the highlights for the third quarter. We'll talk about it here. Actually, the Knicks got off to a nice little start. They even though the game was tied at the half, and they had a 55-52 lead with only 8 something left, and something happened. Julius Randle happened. Even though that was a nice, he connected there. Well, no, it wasn't just Julius, though. The whole team kind of just went cold. And Burks was playing. Actually, did Burks come in at that point? Yes, he did. Burks only actually played 5 minutes in that third quarter. But the thing is, when you play in a back-to-back, the second half usually is where the players, their legs just aren't there. They tire out. But the Cavs, what they did at the 7:40 mark, they subbed in Kevin Love for Davis, Ed Davis, the famous Ed Davis. They got us the 2 second-round picks in those trades, but he never played for us. The game was 59-55. Knicks were ahead, 59-55, when Kevin Love subbed in at 7:40. Then Kevin Love proceeded to hit 4 3-point shots. 4. Yes, in that stretch, the Knicks only scored 3 points. The Cavs went on a 21-3 run. So by the 2:48 mark in the third quarter, the score was 76-62 Cavs. But then, look at this. You can see it right here. Then the Knicks kind of started clawing back into it. Here we go. Oh, that's the beginning of the fourth quarter. But you saw they cut the lead down to, I think, 7 points, maybe 9 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter. But then they still couldn't really make anything happen, and they fell to, I think, a 15-point deficit in that fourth quarter. In fact, yes, I got it right here. The Knicks, though, however, from this point on, actually, after this bucket, the Knicks only allowed 9 points for the rest of those 9 minutes by the Cavs. And the Knicks proceeded to claw back into this game, even tying it on a Randall layup, 91-91 with 2:28 left. 91-91 with 2:28 left. That means the Knicks only scored 2 points the rest of the game. Yeah. Hard to win when you only score 2 points in crunch time. And a lot of it could be because there just wasn't enough gas in the tank. Even though RJ did come up big during that stretch, he ended up with 24 points. But Quentin Grimes, man. Quentin Grimes also played the entire fourth quarter. Look at that. In fact, I would say Grimes and Obi, when he came into the game, were a key aspect of why these Knicks were able to crawl back in and almost steal this victory. This was a play they got lucky. He didn't get called for a foul. That was the one where he tied it. That was it. But look at this play right here. All right, here, watch this. He totally walks. Look how many steps he just took. Darius Garland traveled, and I have a feeling that when the NBA does their report, that will come out that was a missed call. He traveled. He took two and a half steps to the side. Come on. Well, I don't understand. Why is the refereeing so bad right now in the NBA? I am really appalled by that. I'm sure they miss calls on the Knicks as well. As I showed you, they probably missed that call of Randall offensive foul on who was that? Oh, that was Rondo. So the game was lost at the end by a decision of Randall to, once they got the rebound with 14 seconds left, he kind of walked the ball up. I don't understand why he didn't race up or give it to Quickley, who can get the ball up much faster and much more securely. And then he dribbled. So he got it up there. He dribbled, and then he got RJ. He gave RJ. He finally had to give RJ the ball with, I think there was about 6 seconds left. And at that point, RJ felt he had a good look from the three-point line, from behind the three-point line, but it was a 30-footer, and he missed. But we got the ball back, and Randall had a chance to win the game, but it was not a clean possession, a clean inbounds possession. Grimes and RJ almost collided into each other as they were trying to either, one was supposed to screen for the other. I'm not sure what happened, but they almost collided into each other. So Burks, again, why he's inbounding the ball, I don't know. He hasn't had much success, and he made a mistake, and he didn't make a mistake, but he did not make a mistake. Sorry. He gave the ball to Randall, and Randall heaved it. I think it was almost like a 39-foot attempt. And, of course, I had no chance of going in. It's depressing because this road stretch is going to be brutal. And I will call up the schedule here in a second. Have it ready. But let's go to the stats. Here you go. So you can see the game flow. Basically shows you exactly what I'm talking about here. How the Knicks were able to claw back in it. But, man, did we go cold in that third quarter. 3 points. So we only scored 3 points for a 5-minute stretch. Hard to win on the road. Hard to win on the road when you only score 3 points in a 5-minute stretch. And next, we play the Heat. Then we play the Bucks. Then we play the Kings at home. That's the one game at home in this 10-game stretch where 8 of them are on the road. And then we play the Grizzlies, also at home. But then they go out to LA. They go out here. They come here, which hopefully I'll see that game. They play the Lakers, and they play the Jazz, and they play the Nuggets, and they play the Warriors, and they end the road trip by playing in Portland against the Trailblazers. Brutal stretch. It's a very brutal stretch, and just so you know, the trade deadline ends when the Knicks play the Warriors. When the Knicks are on the road playing the Warriors on February 10th, I believe February 10th is the trade deadline. That's when the Knicks play the Warriors, and that's when the trade deadline ends. Now, I want to go back. The reason I'm mentioning this is because, as you can see, Cam got a DNP. All right? And second game of a back-to-back. Burks tonight played on Sunday against the Clippers, played 30 minutes, scored 10 points. Tonight, the second night of a back-to-back, he plays 18 minutes, 0 for 4, no buckets, did get 4 assists, 3 rebounds, but gave us nothing on the offensive end. And Fournier was 3 for 9, 1 of 6 from the three-point line, and he had some good looks. He actually had some good looks, and he from the corner, he just couldn't connect. And he's been on fire lately. He has been on fire lately. In fact, I will show you guys something here. Over the last 9 games before tonight, Evan Fournier was 32 of 62 from behind the arc, 51.6% he was shooting, which is the highest percentage in the NBA, and that was tweeted out by Tommy Beer. RJ, in turn, also, he's been 23 of 53 from downtown for 44.2%. So he's been balling like crazy. But Fournier's been hitting from behind the three-point line. He's been automatic. So I have a feeling that he was just tired. Second game of a back-to-back. Tired, especially on the road. Again, makes you wonder, why didn't Cam play? Why didn't he play? I'm going to get into that. I think I have a clear idea of why this is happening and an explanation for it, and that there might be some light at the end of this tunnel. Let's put it that way. Let's move on here. I want to show you the plus minus. Randall had a very bizarre night, actually. He was a minus 22. He was actually, but look at what Obi did. Plus 20. Obi was a plus 20. He played 15 minutes, 5 of 9, hit 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Grimes, 4 of 6 from the three-point line. 4 of 7 overall. Grimes had 12 points. Obi had 13 points. They gave us tremendous production. They got us back in the game. They also did that in the second quarter as well. That's when the Knicks actually had a lead in that second quarter. So the minute situation. I just don't understand why Julius, on the second night of a back-to-back after playing 40 minutes the night before, why he has to play 33 tonight when Obi was cooking. Obi was playing well. I mean, his three-point shot looked good, man. It looked clean. You know, you get nice 6 rebounds. There was a possession there where he made a turnover, and then he committed a foul, I believe. I think an offensive foul, which led to a turnover. So there was 2 bad possessions in a row. But come on, look at this. Look at this. It's right there. Obi was like so much more productive than Randall was. Why not leave him in a little longer? Don't understand it. Don't understand that logic. But I am happy for Grimes. He's definitely become a permanent member of this rotation, and he's earned it. His defense was outstanding. He was locking up Garland all night. In fact, if you look at this, Garland, he scored 13 points, and that was that 3 where he walked. And he got the 3 to actually win the game, the last bucket. But before that, he was shooting 5 of 18. He was 0 for 5 from the three-point line. And a lot of that was because in the second half especially, Thibs switched Grimes onto Garland, and it really stifled him. Now, Garland ended up with 12 assists, which of course is nice. Mobley was pretty neutralized in the second half. He had a nice first half. Still finished with like 15 points there, 12 rebounds. He's a good player. Mobley's good. But the Knicks, look, it was Kevin Love. Kevin Love won this game for the Cavs. Once again, somebody who's not a starter even on a team. He comes in and, hurts us. In 24 minutes, 20 points. We had someone on the bench, who could have come in and hit some threes. Yep, his name was Cam Reddish. And I'm going to get to that. Now here, look, turnovers. We got less turnover. We had less turnovers. We had the same amount of fast break points, same points in the paint. Fouls were pretty much even. We got out rebounded a little bit. The free throw shooting, yeah, they hit one more free throw than we did, but it was pretty close. 12 made free throws to 11. The 3-point line, that ended up being a big difference maker, as you can see that last shot by Garland at the end. And the field goal percentage there. Oh, but the largest lead, they built that 15-point lead. And when you're playing on the second game of a back-to-back, trying to make up that big of a deficit can definitely wear you down, and where you just really don't have much touch towards the end of the game. What was nice is that RJ, to overcome it, he started driving and driving. Man, he made this beautiful drive. He kissed it high off the glass for a 2, and actually he scooped it with the left hand. Even though he drove to his right, he scooped it with his left hand underneath. Beautiful, beautiful. And he had another drive like that on the left side of the basket. He became a force, which I really like that. And I wish that he actually had passed up, because it was only a 1-point game at that time when there was when he got the ball in his hands and it was 6 seconds left. I wish he had just driven to the basket. He might have gotten fouled. For all we know, it could have been tip-in scenario if he had missed. Maybe Randall gets it, tips it back in, or Nerlens, or maybe RJ himself. That was a moment to drive. However, they always do say you should try to. Well, that would have won the game. Actually, it would have won the game. So it wasn't for a tie. That 2-point shot. So that's disappointing that he didn't drive then, especially since that was there for him most of the night. Actually, all night it was. All right, so this is what I'm going to talk about here. I have a feeling that this is. I'm going to read the tea leaves. I think the reason that we're not going to see Cam much at all until the trade deadline ends is because right now the only way to get him minutes is by moving somebody. Burks, Kemba, possibly even Fournier. Not sure, I doubt it, especially the way Fournier's been shooting and, his contract and stuff. But you never know. You never know. I have a feeling that if you sit Burks too much, then how can you showcase him to trade him? Same with Kemba. Kemba's also been hurt, so Kemba needs to get minutes, which is unfortunate because he doesn't gel well with Randall and RJ and the other guys. So it's making it difficult. But I have a feeling that that's definitely the plan here is because you don't or they're gonna flip Cam, which I highly doubt. We got ourselves in a nice situation where we got a player who's young, who has a tremendous upside, highly skilled. He gives us something that we just don't have on this team. A long wing who can drive to the basket, who can finish, who can shoot the 3, who can defend when he's engaged in it. I think, and he's strong. He's too valuable an asset at this point to unless there's a great deal. We're going to flip them and they already know about, but I highly doubt it. I think that definitely a trade is going to happen. And until that trade happens, Cam will not get many minutes at all. That's what I'm getting. And Thibs is basically almost telling us that, especially also when he hinted that he's going to reduce, he's reducing the rotation from 10 to 9. So that means even less minutes for somebody. Somebody's going to get left out. And right now, it's Cam, which is a bummer. But here's the thing. Don't worry. Don't worry too much. Look at what he's doing with Quickley. Look what he's doing with Grimes. He's let Grimes play the entire fourth quarter. I mean, he's willing to give the kids time. They just have to earn it. And they earn it through defense. Of course, you got to make your shots. Now, Obi has been struggling from the three-point line tremendously. I think he was averaging 10% from the three-point line for the last 10 games, but tonight he hit 3 out of 4. Hopefully, that'll help earn him some more minutes. But Obi only plays when Randall doesn't. So the whole small ball, approach just never really took off, and that's a big bummer. That's a huge bummer, man. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this. My name is George. Again, please subscribe, hit the thumbs ups, and drop your comments. I want to hear your feelings and thoughts about this game and where the Knicks are going. I do believe, though, that the Knicks are trying to get into the playoffs. So that's what this whole next few weeks is going to be about. If you can't survive this West Coast trip, then that chance of getting to the playoffs will just basically, the window will close. And whether they make a trade before then or while they're on the road, that's going to be really fascinating. We're going to see. But also bear in mind, anyone who's thinking that Randall might get traded, he won't be available to be traded until February 3rd. That only gives you a week window to trade Randall. But I'm sure if there's talks have been happening, they'll have that all worked out ahead of time. But I highly doubt it. At this point, I just think that they're going to roll with this and possibly, like I said, open up some minutes for Cam by moving. Most likely it's going to be Burks. So that's it. Let's see what happens, man. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.